how beautiful. Oh. The heavens declare your glory, Lord. Oh my goodness. Good morning, you guys. Welcome to Southern Latitudes. It's like 6:45 or something out here right now. Maybe, I don't think it's 7, yeah. Having my first cup of coffee, and I thought, let's have a garden tour. We have had, I don't know, like 50 new subscribers here recently, and we made it to the 500 mark. And I thought, now's a good time to re-show off the whole garden to you guys. Come on, let's go ahead and do that. Come on, it's the best time in the morning to see the garden when the sun is rising and everything's kind of golden and beautiful. So let's do it. Hey, you guys have seen my Barbados cherry tree, and I thought I would tell you that this tree's been in the ground, I think 3 years, or it's at least 3 years to me, plus it was probably a year older. It really loves the sun, and it produces extremely well this year. The first 2 years, you know, not so much, just a cherry here and there, but we're really getting the cherries right now, which is great for us, but it's a little bit of a challenge because the squirrels have also figured out that the tree makes cherries. So we had a little bit of damage this week from that, and I'll just show you right here. We lost a major branch, but that'll be okay. It's okay. I don't think it's going to harm the tree overall. And I went ahead and I'm making a bunch of, hopefully I'll make a bunch of babies and get them to root out. But yeah, this is one of our little pride and joys over here on this side of the yard. And you guys have recently seen my dwarf Cavendish bananas in that recent video. And also wild cucamelon. My brain's not here yet. I'm trying to think of plant names. I'm not there yet. I'll be better towards the end of the video. But yeah, these came with the house, and we absolutely love them. Probably never even ate a banana off of them for the first, I don't know how many years, before we became brave enough to go, maybe we can try it and not die. So now we look forward to every rack that comes out here. Y'all have seen my hens before. If you listen real carefully, you'll hear the little rooster on the next street over. He's crowing a lot right now this morning. Oh, did you hear him? Like I said, you'll listen carefully, you'll hear him. He is, we're not allowed to have roosters in where I'm at, but we are allowed so many hens per so much square footage. But anyhow, sometimes chicken math happens. You guys know what I'm talking about. You can't just have like a hen or 2 hens, right? Anyhow, let's get on to the garden tour. So this is house garden, and it's been completely cleared out now on the right side. So you'll see we have pineapples on the end. We've removed completely all of the okra. We have the cherry pick hybrid peppers and the blank rose. I have one lone little eggplant down there. She's doing okay. And then I think this is a remainder of I think that's a giant Marconi. And they are starting to come back a little bit. The eggplant is even bloomed, which is very nice. And there you go, you can see a bloom. So we'll see, we may get some more fruit on it. Believe it or not, this is really unusual, but, or at least I think it is. This plant is a year old, like this month. She was put in the ground, kind of got grown over by the tomato. You might remember if you've been here for a while, we had 3 cattle panels right here in this garden last fall into spring, and she just got covered up and got no light. And so, you know, once she finally got sun, she really kind of came into herself, and looks fantastic. Honestly, look at that for a year-old plant. She lost a couple sections, but other than that, doing really good. And I think we might get a nice fall bunch of produce out of her. Oh, and before I forget, so I have rosemary here, and my rosemary was really big, and we lost a lot of the back half of it. But we have the front, so that's good. We're gonna go with that. That's why maybe earlier this year, I took cuttings from her, and I was able to start a new plant from the mother plant. We have here a Persian lime bush, and quite honestly, she lived 3 years in a pot and didn't hardly grow. We moved her 3 times in the ground because she got kind of close to where the bucket trucks need to be whenever we have to have tree work. So we moved her again, and then I think she moved twice that time, and then she ended up here, and now, whew, I bet this lime tree has tripled, if not quadrupled in size. It's so very happy and didn't seem affected completely by being in a container for those first 3 years. Here is, I believe they call it a lemon lime plumeria, and for the most part she's starting to lose leaves because it's just that time of year. But as you can see up there, she's gonna give me just a little bit more flowers here this week before she takes a hibernation nap. Several months ago, I did a video on my containers, and we filled them, this one and this one. Excuse the mess. Everything had to go get tucked in. We've been having a lot of rain, and this is tomorrow's decluttering project. But anyhow, let's get back on this. I had Gumfrina over here, and I stuck a little plumeria stick in there. I have a mum right here. This is, I think, a weed. I believe that's a weed. And then I had this, I think it's Veronica. I'm not 100% certain. It's kind of come over and cascaded. That was nice. There's some more Gumfrina. I don't know if that's, it's not the fireworks, it's something else. Anyhow, it looks really good right now, and I'm really pleased that this is all of a sudden putting on new growth, and that's just happened with all the August rain that we've been having. So I know it's really happy. The plumeria obviously cannot stay there forever, but it was really nice there for this season. In this container, I put in Gora, which I knew would get really wispy, and then the Gumfrina. I had extra Gumfrina, so I think I put like 3 of them in here. And that really looks very nice. It's kind of laid over because we had rain all last night, but it'll stand up a little bit better normally when it dries out. And that's just been really fun to have right there. It almost looks like fireworks, because I kind of planned it that way with the 4th of July flags, and then it almost looks like fireworks coming off of the pot itself. So I'm really happy with the way that turned out. So this is my asparagus bed that I just had a video on, and I got real frustrated with a couple things. The bees in it, the wasps were stinging, but also I kept missing asparagus to eat, and I really wanted to get several of them before the end of the year. And there was just so much fernage, and I gave that to the bunny for the most part. Some of it ended up in the garbage. I collected all the seed off of it, which was nice. They were all turning red and or olive. I mean, they were in various stages, but they were mature and ready. So I did a heavy trim on it. I was looking for my purple crown on this side, but as it turns out, I can't find it. I don't know. It's gone. Might have just died in all the heat. But I'm glad to have cleaned out the bed. And I have baby asparagus that I'm going to put in over on this side. And we'll try again. When I first put in all the purple crowns over here, I had like a possum or something living on this side of the under a shed, let's put it that way. And I believe the hole was actually right over there. And so I just had to suffer the loss, and then, you know, we'll start again, which God has blessed me with those extra seeds, which is nice. This is my jaboticaba, and I wasn't really sure if we were dealing with a iron deficiency. I did get some chelated iron for this, and I did see some of all the new growth green up real nice. But these right here, I might have to put my mug down. I think they're just sunburnt and toast. Not so good, but you know, it's still good to put a little iron on it and help it out. This is probably just like way too much rain that we've been having. Here, as a matter of fact, let me show you exactly what we're talking about. Last night, put that down. Last night alone, we had 3 inches of rain. Can you see that? Just awful. Ugh. Everything is completely waterlogged. And it's just really hard on the plants. You know, so some plants love it and then some plants don't. Okay, we're to Salsa Garden. Oh, here's the asparagus that I told you about. And I'm going to get that in the ground right here. Here's my replacement rosemary. This is my pink dandelion. And I started this from a seed from Baker Creek. I love it. It hasn't produced a single flower yet. But I think we're coming into its season where it's a little bit cooler. And then I think this is the bergamot bee balm. Or balm, yeah, lemon balm. And then this is lemon bee balm. Oh, I might have those names wrong. I'll have to double check that. My friend Nicole from the well, she used to be the Espinosa's Urban Farm, and she bought a farm in Tennessee, so now they're called Heavenly Acres Farm. So she blessed me with these gifts right here. And then my sage and my loofah is finally drying. You'll see it goes from that beautiful green over to now yellow. If it hopefully doesn't rot with all this rain, and it'll dry out to a nice brown, and then that's when you're gonna take it off the vine and dry it. Here's some, oh, I did a lot of weeding yesterday. This was my zone to do clean up. I had a bunch of spent blooms on my bromeliad, so I twisted out the old ones and I left space for the new ones. Aren't these pretty? They're really beautiful, and they're so low maintenance. But on the edges of them, they have these little blades, little swords, blades, sort of like a serrated kitchen knife. And I will tell you that they cut this one's not so bad. Oh, but it has some. Oh my goodness. So they cut the snot out of my hands, everything, up my whole arms. It was not a pretty sight, and it really caused, you know, it's not like a massive pain, but it's just that little annoying thing all night long. It hurt, and then I was kind of worried, did I zap myself with any sort of poisonous sap, and am I gonna have the effects of that? And you know, but all is much better this morning. So in here you will see this is the pepper planting you saw several videos ago. The Big Bertha is winning the race. I trimmed the grass, so if you see a lot of grass in here, it's just going to become dead mulch. These are the cherry pick hybrids. Sweet, they're sweet, not hot. They're doing okay. The snails or whatever has been coming in here and kind of taking off their leaves. So I think some of them will come back and some of them may not, or they just may be stunted. The Jimmy Nardellos have been looking really good. I did transplant 2 more after that video, and it looks like I'm gonna lose that one. But overall, okay. See, oh, here's a great example. See what they're doing? They're just making it a stick. So I put a replacement in here, and they've also made that a stick. But yay, a win for the Big Berthas, which is really, if I wanted one plant to really, really work out here, it was that one. Yeah. So, oh, and I'm standing in banana. These are sweet bananas. Those are good. I've had a little damage, a little bit of I put some replacements in there, like right there. The Greek pepperoncinis. Oh man, we just took a hit last night. I think those were okay yesterday when I was in here working. So I got this one and 2 more. I still have quite a bit of weeding work to do here. I had 2 sunflowers in there. They were about 6-7 inches high, and looks like they're gone. So I definitely seem to have like a slug problem in here. Look, that's Alma paprika. I got a weed around it, but this looks like it's going to make it through to the fall and winter season. Into first frost, if you will, if we have a first frost. And then we'll see if they make it. They could, you know, end up growing. It's very possible to have perennial peppers in Florida, which is great. I had once a jalapeno plant that made it over 3 years, and it was like this tall, and it had a major trunk and branches. Looked like a tree, not a plant. It was fantastic. Let's keep going so we don't have an hour-long garden tour. These are all the new tomatoes that you saw me put in, and I couldn't be happier. Look at how very little bug pressure there is, and they have just quadrupled in size. They look fantastic now. Whew. I'm really, really happy. The only one I think that didn't make it was whatever this mystery was. And I'm really not sure why it didn't make it. There was one day I probably should have watered twice. But you know, it's sometimes you just want to let things dry out because you think they're getting overwatered, and then you lose a baby. This is the eggplant, and this is the purple shine over here, and then the Black Beauty. One of my other jobs today, besides baking inside, is I'm going to pull these and start fermenting my Tabasco peppers and make some sauce. The onions are looking fabulous. I was moving them back and forth up until about 48 hours ago, and I've just left them out here. Kind of unintentional, but I just kind of like threw my hands up, kind of that kind of deal. They look fabulous even through all that rain. Look at the bases on them. That's fantastic. I know it's really early and I'm going to have to keep an eye on them, but I am thinking that in the next few days we load up that back side there of the Salsa Garden with the mushroom compost, and we just start getting these guys their home, into their homes. This is fantastic. If I can put on a lot of beautiful green growth before we get to the shortest day of the year, that'll just make those onions that much bigger. Yeah. And here's my extra peppers, just because I knew you could see them in the background there. And so I will just fill in the gaps with more peppers. Here's some of the seed. I'm really disappointed. My giant Marconi and most of my Corbaci did not come up, and I think the Corbaci was fresh seed. And then I have some bullnose. I don't know why they've stunted in here. That just doesn't make sense to me when the rest were doing so fabulous. But you see they're kind of yellow and everything. So I think they're telling me they just want to go in the ground.